powerful story and a good reminder that we all have power in us and that we can use that and use our voice. I am proud to introduce my own county commissioner, Danielle Bethel. Danielle is a Marion County native and proud mother of 3. She stood as a strong voice for our students as a school board member of Salem-Keizer School District and has served as Marion County Commissioner since 2020. Danielle's pro-life commitment began long before she served in elected office, committing many hours to supporting and mentoring young people here in the Salem area.
Thank you. If you were to ask me 27 years ago if I'd ever be standing on a stage in front of any of you, I would think the answer was an emphatic no. And I'm going to tell you why. And then I'm going to help you answer Cindy's question. But before I do that, I just want to say to her, wherever she went, thank you for sharing your story. There's nothing more terrifying than standing in front of another human being and acknowledging a decision that you've made and assuming that they're going to judge you and that they're going to wrap shame around you, because that's what we do in American society. We impose our beliefs on others to try to make ourselves feel better about what we're doing. 27 years ago, I was a student at McKay High School just east of here on Lancaster Drive. And if you don't know this, it was probably a very intentional decision by Planned Parenthood to build their building across the way on Wolverine Drive. I was the daughter of a single mom. I grew up in severe poverty, and we had a very limited amount of resources to reach out to. My mom was gone at this point, and I was navigating homelessness. Actually, at this very moment in my life, I lived with a dear friend. I apologize for the emotion. I became pregnant like some young girls do. I thought that the people that I reached out to were those that really truly saw me as a person, understood the challenges that I was facing, and really wanted to help. But what I know now, all the years later, is that they were more afraid for themselves than they were for me. I truly believe that the people that helped me make the decision to have an abortion believed that I was a burden to them and that my unborn child was going to be a burden to them too. I'm sure that they saw me in the way that they knew how, but they didn't really spend time with me. They never actually got to know my story. I was a statistic or a student in a building that they needed to move through to the next thing in life. The home I was staying at this time learned quickly that I had this abortion, and it was within just a few moments that their decision was made to ask me to leave. And it was the very first time that I'd ever been unhoused officially. I didn't have parents, and I didn't have a family. What I had was peers my age who loved me. Thank you. I should have brought these. I thought I wasn't going to cry. I apologize. Anyway, my peers, my 16-year-old friends, wrapped themselves around me and helped me get to school one day after the next. It was actually a softball coach, a man, who saw me one day and said, "I don't know what's going on in your life, but whatever it is, you're going to overcome it. You've got great charm and charisma, and you are a very bold person. Just continue to walk ahead and see where the path takes you." And I promise you, he made an impact in my life many times over. Today, as you hear my story or that of Cindy's, I want to leave a few things with you. When she asks you, what are you going to do about it? I want you to pause and really think about what you can do. It's really just about seeing the person in the space that they're in. It's not about the greater picture of what the world imposes on us, of what we're supposed to achieve and how we're supposed to do it. I'm a very proud mom of 3 Earthside children, and as of recently, a grandmother to a beautiful little girl. My kids are young, and I can tell you over the 44 years in my life, I've always wanted to have a big family. But I've never been more terrified as to every time I got pregnant in hopes to not fail my children. My son, who is now 21 years old and a father, is successful in his happiness. He has a beautiful girlfriend and a baby that they pour their love into every single day. And because I have healed myself, and because of people like Lois Anderson, The day I blew into her office and asked for her support and threw this story out on her table, she didn't kick me out. I realized there are true loving people on this planet that do want to help others, one person at a time. You know, the Union Gospel Mission has a theme. It's called Stop for the One. And I'm going to share that here today with you because it truly just takes that one person to stop for another. If I could have just had one person tell me that I don't have to be rich, and I don't have to own a home, and I don't have to be whatever, I'd have a child who's older than my son. And I wouldn't live with the amount of pain and suffering that I have for all these years. I try every single day in my job as a commissioner to make sure that I see the people in my community. Ask Commissioner Willis, he's somewhere over in that crowd. We work really, really hard to make sure that we're pouring services into our systems so that way we can serve people one at a time. I'm proud of an investment that Commissioner Willis asked us to provide last year to Hope Pregnancy Resource Center so that way we could make sure those women were loved and seen too. I do realize this isn't just about women. It's definitely about men too. It's mostly just about people. And the fact that we sometimes make decisions and get ourselves into circumstances that we just need a little bit of pause and a whole lot of love. So as you're marching today, as Cindy said, what can you do? I ask you today to step up. Do something about it. Ask somebody what's wrong and truly listen when they answer. And don't be afraid to think that you can't help because even if you don't have the solution, someone else does. It only takes courage to reach out and engage. Thanks for letting me share some of my story with you today, and I truly hope that you continue to move forward with the love that you have in your heart like you do today. Have a good day.